Hey everybody, it's Keisha with Lakisha Keene Saving Greens, and I'm coming to you today from my garden here in the high desert of Southern California, Zone 8B. And today I want to talk about something that could be helpful to a lot of new gardeners. So let's get into it. So today's video is about not having to spend a lot of money. I know we're all tempted when we first start out. We gotta have everything perfect and everything nice, and we feel like we have to buy beds, garden beds, and we have to buy everything at once. And that's not so. When I first started my first year gardening, I used these cement borders to make garden beds, and I didn't have any wooden raised boxes. This is what I had to use. These borders were already here on this property when we bought this property, so they worked out for my first year and into my second year, and I'm still using them. But these, you can buy these, but if you'd like to save money and not spend a whole lot for your garden, there's people that are giving these away on Marketplace, on just any kind of community group in your area. Check it out and see who's giving away some of these cement borders, or they might be selling them for cheap, even cheaper than what you can find them in the store. Next, I have my raised beds. Now these beds, I built these beds because we had, as you can see on my house there, the wood frame. On my house, we used to have a real huge covered patio. And that's where these boards came from. All I did was reuse and repurpose that wood and built these beds with it. And the only thing it cost me was my time and energy and the cost of screws. So I was able to save money. Now you can possibly find, like right now, the cost of lumber is expensive. But you could possibly find someone that's giving away wood, that has some old piles just sitting up in their yard and they just want to get rid of them, or that they're willing to sell for cheap. Like this wood right here, this is the only bed out of all my garden beds, even the ones against the fence that you see, that was all built using my patio cover. And these 4x4s against the house was built using my patio cover. This box was the only box that I had to outsource. And I found someone in my local area who had a lot of wood. She just wanted to get out of the way so she could have more space in her yard. And I got this for free. It doesn't always happen that way. You might have to spend a little, but it won't be as much as what they're trying to sell in the garden center or hardware store. Next, I have all my containers right here in my container garden, and some of these containers I paid money for and some I didn't. So the ones that I paid money for is like this green one right here. I got that from the 99-cent store and they sell for $3.99, but I happened to find some that were damaged. And since I knew I was just going to put it in my yard, asked if they would give me a break on them, and I got 50% off, so I only paid $2. That stackable tower that I'm growing strawberries in came from the 99-cent store. Each of those stack pots are were $1. The rest of these containers in my container garden here, I didn't spend any money for them. I got them from yard sales. People were just giving away pots and I happened to find them. So I was able to save money in that way. But this container right here, this red one, came from Walmart. I happened to catch that one on sale for $5. It's a 17-gallon container that I have my midnight snack tomato in. But I happened to find that one on sale for $5, and I kicked myself today that I didn't get more, because the price went back up to $8, which still isn't bad, but $5 is better. Over here is my tomato row, and I did spend money for the wood in this one. I think I spent anywhere between $10 and $12 per board. They're 2x8s, and so I think I spent about $200 to build out my whole tomato row. But that was just this year. I've been gardening for what, 3 years, and so I used what I could get for free or for cheap to start my garden here. And the trellises on here, though, these trellises I also reused and repurposed from my patio cover that we took down. The patio cover looked exactly like this, and so we were able to take it down and reuse the wood from it. So all of my trellises along Tomato Row, I didn't spend any money except for screws. That was it. Even the light colored wood pieces that make up the rungs here, I even got those free. While I was at Lowe's, there was a vendor there who was unloading stuff, and he had a whole bunch of scrap pieces of wood, and I asked him if my husband actually asked him if we could have it, and he said yeah, if the manager's okay with it. He was okay with it, so the manager was okay with it, and I walked out of there with some free wood pieces that work perfectly for this. So it doesn't hurt to ask, you guys. If you're someplace and you see something that could be used in your garden and that would save you some money, whether it's something that's damaged or broken, that you can work out a deal with the people and buy at a cheaper price, or that you can possibly get for free, ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. And then here's a container that I used that I had for when my kids were little, or younger I should say, that we used to store their toys in. And well, all my kids are teenagers now, so or grown, so I just put some holes in the bottom of that container, and now I'm growing tomatoes and peppers out of it. I think at the time I spent maybe $7 to $10 for this container, and I've had it for years, and now I'm using it outside. Instead of throwing it away, I'm using it to grow some stuff. So here's another way that you can save some money. I found these garden bags at Dollar Tree, and they're meant to just haul stuff, not really to grow in, but I'm growing in them, so I'm using them as grow bags. And I have sweet potatoes in here and carrots in there. I spent only $1, and these bags are huge. You can see in comparison to that tire how big these bags are, and they're deep, and I even have them folded down so they could be even deeper than this. I also planted potatoes in these bags, and they might not last for many years. They might just only be a one-time, one-season deal, but for right now, it was a cheap way for me to expand my growing space and grow some extra things in, so it works. And then also these tires. Now, how many of us have tires laying around? I mean, we always have to replace tires on our vehicles and stuff, and they're hard to get rid of, the tires. If you have some tires laying around, you can actually grow in tires. Now, there's debate as to whether it's safe or not to grow in tires if the tires leach chemicals, and it's to me it hasn't really been fully proven either way. I choose not to grow food in mine. This is the first time that I'm growing food in mine. I was growing flowers in them before, but it's up to you. It's a good resource, and I know there's a lot of people using tires to grow food and to have a garden. So if that's what you have on hand, I say use it. Finally, you guys, another way that you can save some money, and gardening doesn't have to be expensive, is by using boxes. So here you see I have a couple of boxes that I put some soil in. I made sure there was drainage on the bottom, and this one has ginger in it, and this one I'm trying to grow peanuts in. But boxes, you guys, come in all shapes and sizes, and all you have to do is just, like I said, add drainage, add some soil, and you've got yourself a garden. And it doesn't have to cost anything. Boxes, you can find them free everywhere. There's plenty of resources of where you can find them at grocery stores, Walmart, anywhere where they have goods that they have to unpack from a box. If you ask them if you can have those boxes, most likely they'll let you have them. Also, like at U-Haul, a lot of people take used boxes that they use to move and drop them off at U-Haul so someone else can have the use of those boxes to move. So even at U-Haul, you can find some really good boxes that are free. So starting out gardening doesn't have to be expensive. There are ways that you can save money and start a small garden and build up to however big or whatever picture garden you want to build for yourself. But it doesn't have to start out expensive. Everything that I have, I either obtained it for free or I spent very little on it. Hopefully this helps someone. Hopefully, if you're just starting out, it'll ease some of the pressure of having to have everything perfect and expensive all right away. So, you guys, thank you for watching, and as always, God bless.